So once again, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful event. My name is Maurice Andati Shapwala. I'm one of the people who brought together this team of people so that we could have this event and also have this fellowship. And the fellowship is the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship, which mainly focused on engaging young people in Africa or any person who really wants to focus on innovation and development, push them towards an agenda where they can look at a sustainable way, they can build themselves, and also they can build their ideas and also their innovations towards a better Africa. That is working with the Sustainable Development Goals and also working with the different visions that different countries have come up with. So the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship was a 3 months fellowship, and we are very happy and we are glad that we were joined in by the different young people and different founders and also project coordinators and different people who have their own organizations. They were able to join us, that is from the different parts of Africa, and they were able to build come together and build different projects and build different programs together and also learn the different kind of aspects that are aligned towards the different SDGs and also the program that they were written. I want to thank the main organizers and the ones who came together to make this happen, which is different organizations. The first organization was Smart Talk Cafe, and we have another organization called Development Coalition of Africa. Then we also have the last organization, which is Anika Initiative. So during our engagement and as we continue, the different founders and the different people that we engaged are going to join us, and they'll also introduce these different organizations so that every single person who is joining us, whether if they're students and also those who really want to participate in the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship, can also join us. So we really thank every single person who is joining us and who made this a success. Other people that I want to thank also are the people who are behind the scenes, who were able to make sure we had the right information, who made sure that we have the coursework was at par with what the students had requested, and also making sure that every single student was able to get either if they're videos or notes, to make sure that they would understand very well and they would understand the different programs that we came up with. So before I continue or we go further, whatever I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce or I'm going to bring forth the different representatives of the different organizations that who came together in order to make sure that this was a success, and also brought together these different young people from Africa and made sure that they would have gained these skills and also develop themselves. So I will start with Development Coalition of Africa, because I can see the CEO is here. He will talk to us, introduce the organization, tell us a little bit of what the organization stands for, and what was their role that they played in order to make this a success. Then we'll go to another organization. So I want to welcome Desmond Ogubi. Join us, and if you're able to hear me, you're able to say something, you're welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible enough. It's raining where I am. It's kind of it might mess up my audio. Please respond if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. So, as Andati has said, my name is Desmond Ogubi. I am the founder of Development Coalition for Africa. I'm sure most of the people who came in, who are on the group, especially the group from Rwanda, are wondering, wait, Desmond was not with Development Coalition for Africa. Yeah, so it's been a journey, and we started off with a handful of partners in the project, but then due to a lot of challenges that were actually posed by COVID-19, most of the organizations had to either scale down, and some of them had to pull out of the project. But as I'm sure during the classes, most of us have actually learned, it's the challenges that build a resilient people. And I'm just happy that at the end of the day, we have been able to actually pull through and be able to be here at last. I'm sure it has not been a very easy journey on anyone, uh, from the prolonged classes to assignments to the group discussions, to having almost a third of the class drop out, uh, to your different work that you guys, your different activities that you guys are actually engaged in, to some of you guys who are in school and all that. But it has taken a lot of resilience and fortitude for each one of us to actually get here. So just to speak a little bit about Development Coalition for Africa, it's an organization of young people, um, and I'm one of the young person in the organization. But we are basically working towards building resilient communities around us, and that can be, we are doing that through different strategies. One of the main strategies that actually we are using, with some organization, for us we call them services, but some organization will probably call them projects or programs. One of the main key areas we are focusing on is social entrepreneurship and enterprise development. That is building, um, training. We are having many different trainings with individuals. So this actually comes in under that umbrella, where we are doing a skills transfer to different individuals, or groups of people, to give them different skills from project management, issues of entrepreneurship, how to build social movements. Uh, there are some who are more interested in the acts of activism. Um, so we are working on different areas and doing more skills transfer. We are working in the second area that we are focused on is corporate training and team building. So we are focusing on corporate development, team coaching and mentorship, executive leadership, issues of uh, customer care, sales management. And that's mainly, or some of the things that we are handling mainly here in Rwanda, because the organization is actually based in Rwanda. So we have the issue of you, and then the third issue we are handling is youth engagement and climate action. So what is the role of young people in ensuring that we curb the issue of climate change? Because I'm sure everyone who has been in the surface of the world for more than 20 years, which I'm guessing is everyone here, you have had changes in the different respective areas that you're living in. Either it's raining too much or it's too dry. You look at the polar ends of the earth, how ice is melting, and the action that we have been engaged in for a long time, that has actually worked against, which has made the situation to be what it is right now. So climate action is here with us, and what can the young people do in making sure that we actually curb, or we are actually able to stabilize that. So we are focusing mostly in the issues of agroforestry, climate, and smart agriculture, and then the role of young people in green energy. Yes, so those are some of the areas that we are actually focused in, and I've been working with a team of young people here in Rwanda. It's an organization that is actually roughly 6 months, And that's when I came to Rwanda actually, and I wanted to do something with young people. And some of the things that I actually came to notice, these are some of the key areas that we are mainly focused on. And we are trying to work with different institutions, universities here, and young uh, people who are um, those ones who are just transitioning from the universities and then joining the job market, and they in the area of skills development. So that's basically what we've been up to. But my main role, as you guys knew, I was involved in behind the scenes of organizing the fellowship, and as I shared in the conversation earlier on, challenges have been here, but there's nothing that is bigger than what we, as a people, we have been able to go through, from having our normal lives to being totally interrupted and hiding in the house and not being able to live. And now we are trying to call it new normals. But with the things that we have been able to learn from the fellowship, how can we, moving forward, how can we utilize the different things that we have been actually able to learn and make it benefit us? How, with the conclusion of the fellowship, as an individual, when you sit back, what did you learn? And it's not about just what you learned. What are you going to do moving forward to better your life? Or what are some of the key interactions? Or we can talk about which friend did you make that can hold your hand? Who did you call? And if you are having an issue with writing a proposal, or I don't know, pitching an idea, or just being able to implement something, or creating an implementation strategy for a different project. How then can you utilize the different skills that you have learned to move that moving forward beyond today? Of course, it's going to be a skill that you learned that is going to help you on the long run. And yeah, so that was the main point. If one person picks something here, then we actually attain the goal of the fellowship. If you are able to just attain one skill, and you're able to pick and improve your life moving forward and the life of the people living around you, then we actually, the fellowship had an impact on you, and it's that type of story that we have actually been looking for. And if we're able to pick, to change the mindset, if you're able to pick those skills and change the life of someone else, or even just train someone, tell someone, give someone advice about it, so that you lessen the burden. You don't have, people don't have to, each one of us doesn't have to go through the hardship that comes with learning skills. If you're able to tell your friend about something on how to do, instead of taking 5 years or 2 or a month to learn that thing, with your guidance, if you're able to do it in a period of a week or something, I think that will be the success of this fellowship. So me, I'm so excited. We have learned a lot, and we are still learning, and I'm hopeful that moving forward, even with the continuation of this program, we will be able to learn more. There are things that were raised, and we are definitely going to work on them and see how to improve best with with the subsequent cohort. So, and that is Asante Sana, Robin, you guys, everyone who's here, who has been with us throughout the journey. I am just grateful, and let's keep helping each other out, and see where this can lead us. So thank you so much, and that's it. I hope I haven't taken too much time out. Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much for for saying so much. Really, thank you. And he's one of the people who has been behind the scene and has helped us in terms of making sure the program is running well and moving forward. So next, without wasting so much time, I can see that Robin is also here. I will invite him because he's the one who is representing uh, Anika Initiative, which was also one of the partners and the key organizations that was part of this program. So, Robin, if you are ready to speak, maybe the floor is yours.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm not entirely sure my microphone is audible.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Awesome. So my name is Robin Omeka. I am the Chief Executive Officer for the Anika Initiative. For this particular fellowship, I also doubled up as the lead trainer for a concept called human-centered design. A little bit about the Anika Initiative. The Anika Initiative is an organization that was started in May 2015 and had its first engagement ever on August 22nd of that same year in 2015. We started out as a group of spoken word artists who wanted to just have conversations around issues such as sexual and gender-based violence. But thankfully, through learning and unlearning, we have had the opportunity to engage on broader issues and aspects of our social structures from the different places that we come from and the different experiences that we have. In a nutshell, the Anika Initiative is an art-based organization, so our tool of choice is artistic expression. Yes, so we use artistic expression to champion conversations on societal issues. Our thematic areas are gender and development, youth and migration, gender and development, youth and migration. We also have the conservation space, as well as governance and policy. For this particular activity that we ran, courtesy of Smart Talk Cafe and the Development Coalition of Africa, we were in charge of carrying out the human-centered design, which is a proprietary curriculum that we have developed to train people on how to use the resources they have in the immediate environments to solve the problems that they have within the same environments. Because often people lie to themselves that the lack of resources is a reason to not start. What human-centered design teaches you is that you can start from anywhere with anything that's available within the environment you find yourself in, because there's always something that's available. I have been fortunate enough to interact with you. I can see from the comments, Joyce Kimani is saying, the teacher who made you draw weird things. Yes, that was me, because that's part of the learning process. And I'm really grateful for the time and industry that the cohorts here, the participant showed me and had the time to interact with me and also learn from the experience I had to share with them, as well as trust me enough to share their experiences with me. I believe this is the first step in a broader conversation about young people coming together to build spaces for themselves and to take stock of the things and resources they have within the individual environments and the places they find themselves, and also find ways to synergize and build partnerships that allow them to scale solutions and solve problems at the grassroots levels. Because honestly, if we can't bring ourselves together as young people, it becomes extremely difficult to champion any kind of change in societies that we live in. We have been fortunate as an organization to be part of a global movement known as the Youth Against Slavery movement, I believe represented by Racha Haffar, who is also a keynote speaker for this particular address. We have been fortunate enough to work with artists across the Eastern African region. We have worked with artists from Rwanda, from Burundi, Uganda, Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Ghana. And it's honestly a testament to the immense capability that we have as young people to build bodies of synergy that respond to our needs as Africans living in Africa, experiencing real challenges and real issues that need to be solved. I always want to speak about, anytime I get a time to talk, I always want to focus and give a word on SDG number 17, the partnerships. It's very important to create working, lasting, healthy partnerships between each other, because there's always something we can help each other. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and the trust that the organizations that have brought all this together have allowed me to be able to be a facilitator for the human-centered design. I am certain you'll be seeing more of me in the next cohort, because I will also be looking to have intellectual property inculcated as one of the topics or avenues of learning that we will expand the fellowship with. Other than that, from me here in Nairobi, Kenya, I want to say thank you very much. And I hope that the fellowship has given you the confidence and the courage to be the amazing, impactful person that we have always known you are. Thank you so much. Asanteni sana, and may God bless you.
Thank you so much, Robin. Robin has been very key, and the organization, as you've heard, has been very key in terms of helping us develop and also make this fellowship a success. So, so at last, the last organization that is going to introduce itself is Smart Talk Cafe, and gladly I'm also the representative of the organization. So. By names, I'll repeat again. I am Maurice Andati Shampwala. I am the founder of Smart Talk Cafe. And basically, whatever Smart Talk Cafe does is it brings together young people and different experts, specifically under the issues of sustainable development, focusing majorly at community level, and how we can improve and also develop young people through training them, building different programs and projects to them, helping them, making them scale whatever programs or projects that they already have by building them, or also letting them see what kind of aspects of sustainable development they can improve, or also they can also incorporate in whatever projects or programs that they're running, so that now we can have a better Africa, and also have young people who not only just see the benefits them as individuals, but also the benefits of these of the different projects or programs that they have at community level, and having that communal mindset. So we have different programs that we are running under Smart Talk Cafe. And the first one is now the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship. And the fellowship comes once a year, and whatever the fellowship is focused on is bringing together different people, specifically in Africa, not only just looking at young people at school, maybe at a university level, but also those who are founders of different organizations, or also those who really want to engage into community development. We bring all these people together, and we train them, improve their skills, give them more information specifically under the different aspects, looking at design thinking, looking at sustainable development in terms of community or programs, looking at leadership, looking at movement building, different aspects of movement building, looking at the different aspects of leadership, and how they can use all these skills in order to help them develop and build themselves. Another program that Smart Talk Cafe also engages in is in terms of mental health, where we bring together and have programs that bring young people together, and they discuss, and also we offer services specifically on mental health, on how they can improve themselves, how they can improve those who are being affected, how they can improve themselves, and how they can move forward and move forward with their lives and also develop themselves. So other programs that we are also engaging in are in terms of art, how we can use art as a tool in terms of development, at different communities, and how we can use art also as a tool in order to help in terms of building skills and also fighting for different human rights that we're engaged. Then lastly, we deal in climate action, majorly focusing on issues to do with bamboo, and also what kind of sustainable crops are we going to have in order to help improve our community. So in short, that is what Smart Work Cafe engages in, and our main goal or our main objective is to help Africa improve itself using the different visions of the different documentations or the different policies that have come up in Africa. Whatever Smart Work Cafe aims at is maybe 20 years from now or 30 years from now, the young people, as much as they always as they say that Africa is going to have the highest number of young people, 20 years or 30 years from now, will be the ones who are going to be put on book and be asked, what did you do? What did you do in order to help in terms of development of the continent? Not only just complaining and doing all this, what are the activities and what are the actions that you did, basically using the skills that you had in order to make sure that your community improved, you as also an individual improved yourself in terms of maybe finances, or also in terms of community development, when you're looking at education and looking at entrepreneurship and the different levels. So these were the three main organizations that came together and made sure that this fellowship was a success, and made sure that every specific student got whatever skills that they really wanted to have. So maybe I'll go to the next agenda before I'm able to introduce the speakers of the day. There is someone who was asked what was the fellowship, what was the program really entailing, and the fellowship, the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship, majorly was focusing on understanding the Sustainable Development Goals. How can you incorporate Sustainable Development Goals into communities? How can we make sure that we can mainstream, accelerate, and also creation of policies that can support the sustainable development here, specifically in Africa, looking at how we can contextualize it. The fellowship also looked at leadership and how different young people can step up to be leaders, either at the organizations that they are in, or also at communities by identifying the different skill set, or also identifying the different resources that they have in order to improve themselves. And number three, we also looked at what do you call building of movements. So apart from just understanding and looking at how you can be a leader, and also understanding the state development, how can you build a movement specifically at community level in order to help in terms of improving and also developing the different communities. Also looked at programs and projects, how you can come up with projects moving from idea stage all the way to having it as a project or a program. How can you align the different resources that you have, from human resource to also the different financial resource, and also the skill set that people have. Then how can you build a movement out of it? How can you write a proposal? How can you come up with all this? And how can you make sure that the program or the project that you are going to develop is not only just going to last for maybe 3 months or 2 months, but it's going to last for a couple of years, and also you're going to return, others are going to join you. So the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship focused majorly on that, and we are going to have the students who are going to join us, and they are going to talk to us and also tell us what did they get and what did they get from the program, the project. So without further ado, I was supposed to introduce maybe to bring together the trainers that were part of the project. However, we've already seen one of them. So Robin Omeka, who has already introduced himself and also talked about the specific topics that he was doing. He was focused majorly on design thinking and helping people on design thinking. So the other trainer, I was also another trainer. who was now focusing majorly on sustainable development all the way to movement building and also policies. For me, maybe I will thank the students so much for, number one, creating time, number two, being curious enough to be able to ask questions, to be able to push themselves to another, push themselves, not just sitting in their comfort zone, but pushing themselves to understand more, also reaching out after classes so that they could understand the concepts very well, and also with them developing their programs and projects in the lifetime of the fellowship. I really want to thank them very much. With also, as Desmond had said, with also the ups and downs in terms of time. We are using Zoom these days. We're not having a physical engagement, which due to COVID-19. But I would thank the students for being there, making sure they come for classes, making sure they do their assignments very well, and also making sure that they can develop programs and projects so that when the fellowship ended, everyone had something that they would share and say that this is a program and this is a project that that I as an individual has come up with. And I would really appreciate, as someone who was a trainer and who was part of this family, because right now it is a family for me. I really want to thank you, and whatever I would just request maybe is, as Robin has just said, don't stop from the fellowship. Build yourself from the skills that you've gotten, from the information that you've gotten. You can reach out to us so that we can improve. And if there is someone that maybe we didn't understand very well in terms of putting it into practice, then you can reach out so that we can develop and make it and make it better. However, for the class Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship Class 2021, it was awesome. It was great being with you guys. It was awesome meeting very brilliant young people from Kenya, from Burundi, from Rwanda, from Congo, Togo, all these brilliant minds coming together in order to make sure that they can improve themselves and also develop themselves. So if maybe Robin has something to add, I will give him the chance. However, maybe I will ask Robin, do you have something to add now, not only just as the owner of Anika Initiative, but as a trainer who was part of the students? Oh, okay. I think he's saying he's a little bit in a noisy place. So thank you so much for the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellows. Thank you so much. This was great. It was great having you guys and engaging you guys. So maybe for the next agenda of the program is, I will wish to introduce one of the speakers. Because of also time and also because they're a little bit engaging, one or two. I would like to engage to invite Racha to come and also speak to us, and also thank and also meet the students. So Racha, the floor is yours. Welcome and take it on.
Hi, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Hi. Thank you so much for having me, and it's a pleasure to be among brilliant minds of Africa, especially young people. My name is Racha Haffar, and I'm from Tunisia. I'm the founder of Youth Against Slavery Movement, and I have been an activist since I remember. So just being here and listening to all of you and listening to all this amazing fellowship and the opportunity that's bringing for growth and the opportunities for you to learn and to engage with each other and to create that bond and the family sense is really beautiful, and it's very important. It's definitely what kept me going. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of how did I do my work, how did I start, how did I get here, the challenges I still face, the challenges that you all might face, and perhaps how we can overcome them together. And I'll open the floor for questions because I would rather listen to you than just speak. Because I think it's more important to just have your perspectives and your questions and answer them. So I started my journey as a young activist fighting human trafficking back when I was 24 in Tunisia. I almost got trafficked. I actually, now when I look back in time, I realize I almost got trafficked 3 times, but the one that really stuck in my head was when I was looking for a scholarship to study in England, because education in Tunisia is in French, and I did not really fit in the educational system because I was born and raised in Dubai, because my father is half Syrian, half Palestinian. But when I moved back to Tunisia, I did not fit in the system and I didn't fit in the country, and I started looking for outside opportunities. And yeah, I applied for babysitting jobs because that was the only thing that was going to help me secure employment and be able to afford my education. But then when I kept following up with these employers who were reaching out to me, none of them wanted to show me their faces online. And this was like really a while ago, probably when I was 20. So it's been a while, maybe 10 years at least. But I was really alarmed for the lack of initiative from them to show me their face, and some of them sent me some fake photos. So I knew for sure something was wrong, and I did some research online and I realized that's how girls are being trafficked. So that's how I got into the topic. I forgot about it. I thankfully stayed in Tunisia. I finished my education, and then for my master's, I decided to do a double degree between Tunisia and Italy. And when I was in Italy, I came across a Nigerian survivor who was trafficked into sexual exploitation for a decade back in the time when I met her. And when I heard her story, it really hit me hard. I was like, you know, this could have been me. This could have been my life. This could have been my destiny. But it wasn't. So this is not something I could take lightly. I felt a huge responsibility to stand up and take initiative because I realized in Tunisia there was no organizations specialized on the topic of human trafficking. The awareness was very minimal. Youth were not engaged, and they are still probably not engaged yet. And that's how I started my journey. I started with just a sense of responsibility, a sense of togetherness with the community I lived with. Felt that it's my community. I look at the world as everyone being my family. I believe we are all one family, and I just couldn't really sleep knowing that people are being enslaved. I had to do something about it. So I started Not for Trade organization as the first anti-human trafficking organization in Tunisia. It was the first organization solely specialized in fighting human trafficking in Tunisia back in 2016. And that's, you know, the more I dug into the topic, the more I worked on it, the more I started traveling around Africa, I realized, you know what, this problem is not just in Tunisia, it's actually everywhere. And especially like around Africa, the topic is very neglected. It's not mainstreamed. It's not getting the attention it deserves. It's not getting the space. And young people and young activists are not being heard, rather being tokenized and disrespected by the agiest who have the power and the positions. So it started to feel like, wow, I'm doing something for the good and well-being of the community, yet I am being pushed out, I'm being tokenized, I'm being just treated in a way I shouldn't be treated. And that made me realize that we do have so many barriers in our culture, and we do have so many barriers that were inherited, you know, generation after generation. People tend to take what others have used instead of thinking on their own to keep adopting and improving and bringing technology and bringing just adapting to the development of our human nature and our human existence on this earth. And that is not a good practice. So the more I pushed, the more I felt there was a pushback. So I realized, you know, as a one voice, that's not going to work. I need to do more because I I can't sleep. I can't sleep knowing that this topic is not being mainstreamed, is not being addressed with the urgency it should be addressed. So I took that example of Tunisia. And when I moved to the US, I was like, okay, maybe now I can actually put this in practice if the environment is a little bit better. The environment doesn't change, to be honest. The international advocacy spaces are very similar. It's the same. It's the same power dynamics. It's the same exclusion. It's the same tokenism. But the thing that you should know is that you should never give up. You should know where the fire comes in, what fires you up, where does that energy come from, what is your motivation, what grounds you in the work you do. Life is not easy, and especially if you're all going to be founders of your own projects, you're going to be slapped on the face multiple times. But you have to understand that this is a choice. And when we make choices, we also have the choice of how to respond and how to perceive others' reactions and how to perceive these situations. So I founded Youth Against Slavery movement officially last year, 2020. And we launched it officially in July 2021. So now we are a global team of young people all around the world, setting up the ground for a groundbreaking movement to really rise up to power, because we need to take power from those who have it and who are misusing it. Our work focuses mostly on prevention through education and awareness and empowerment. Of course, with a lot of the focus, our focus is of course on SDGs. So we broke down what does human trafficking look like, and we understood that human trafficking is not really it doesn't happen in vain, right? It comes because girls can't have access to education, because boys are being exploited in different jobs, because those who want to go study abroad or work abroad are being held in servitude and domestic slavery. So we needed to look deeper. And when we looked deeper, we found out that when we actually say this world has reached a certain level of justice in fixing socioeconomic, political ability, climate, gender, and other issues, that's when we can say we are close to stopping human trafficking and modern slavery. But if we continue to create divisions between these issues and not see the intersectionalities of how everything builds on everything and everything is connected, we will not really get anywhere. So that's the core of the work we are doing, is looking at the intersectionalities between the different issues, breaking them down in simple terms that young people can understand, and then working with the different young people. So we're focusing on Africa for the first 3 years. We're starting with our pilot project. And the way we're doing it is just creating hubs, creating movements within the continent. We want to work with everyone. We have to work with everyone, whether it's civil society or other partners. And we want to center youth in the decision-making table. We want youth to have leadership over their lives. We want youth to be able to live their lives in dignity, be safe, and at the same time have a saying over it. Because we have so many solutions, but we're still disregarded and we're still excluded because of our age, and that is not okay. And I understand it's just the dynamic of this world, but that doesn't mean we can't change it. So now there's a huge rise of young feminists who are fighting for equal power on the decision-making table. And I believe we can only get there if we put hand in hand and find ways to work with our differences, whatever those differences might be, ideological or cultural. We can definitely find ways to establish justice that is beyond all of us. So that's what we've been doing in YASM. We're hoping to launch our first campaign in May. It's been a journey because it's a big movement. So we've been working a lot on establishing, the infrastructure and putting the teams together, figuring what could work, what couldn't. And of course, we're centering accountability. We start with the self. If you want to hold people accountable, if you want people to listen to you, you got to do it yourself. So you have to start with the self, and then you can talk to others. So that's what we're doing. We're creating an accountability framework within the organization, internally and externally, to hold leaders accountable and tell them, hey, you've got all that power and position. and money, how are you using it for the good of everyone, not just for your own interest? And that's what we lack in Africa. We have so much corruption that is minimizing all of our livelihoods and all the work we do. But that doesn't mean we can't get anywhere. So we just have to keep going. We just have to keep reminding ourselves of what is the ultimate goal, what is the ultimate vision, what is the change we are bringing to this world, and how can we actually do it together? We need to break the silos. Working alone does not get anywhere, and it doesn't get anything good. That's what I learned the hard way, because in Tunisia, I was running my nonprofit all alone because the topic was, new to people, and young people were not invested, they were not interested, and they didn't know how to connect to the topic. So now all I learned to do is when I talk to anyone, I bet if I talk to all of you individually, I will find a way to make you understand how human trafficking is very close to you and to your livelihood and your family than you would ever imagine. So let's just continue to believe in the power of the collectiveness that we have. And I mean, just keep your heads high. This is a great journey. You're going to be starting so many great projects, and I can't wait to see every one of you thriving. But just understand, life comes with challenges, and these challenges continue to teach you about yourself and teach you about how to continue to improve and become better and stronger and learn from your mistakes. And making mistakes is necessary. None of us can learn without mistakes. That's how we evolve as humans. And it's really a beautiful dynamic to be a founder of a project, to own up to your own actions, to own up to the impact you're bringing to the society and to the community, but just also have time to look inwards. To be honest, I feel like COVID came in a time where I needed it the most. We were all running on 100 cylinders, but when COVID hit, it was a moment for us to take a step back and reassess and reevaluate and look internally. And I believe that was a turning point in my life. I do believe that when we are founders, when we are doers, when we are trailblazers and change makers, we have so much fire and energy, but that fire can eat us up internally. So make sure you're not a candle that's burning on its own to light up for others. Maybe be a plastic candle that can last forever, or be one of those lamps that can always be sustainable. We're talking about sustainability. So sustainability starts with the self. And I believe like giving yourself due respect, respecting your thought processes, respecting your body needs, and understanding that you need to take a step back when your body is telling you to take a step back. Don't burn out. The culture of burning out is applauded. It's celebrated. It's like we are super excited and we brag about, oh, I'm burnt out because I worked so hard. It's like we have to brag about working nonstop. And that is wrong. This culture is a consumerist capitalist culture that does not reflect on the work and the impact we as social agents want to bring to this world. So please take time for yourselves. Take time to journal. I journal a lot. Your feelings, your emotions, everything is very valid. Your thoughts, your fears, all of it. Journal it down. Talk about it to yourself, and then understand it and look it eye to eye and say, I see you and I'm going to work on you and I'm going to become intentional because I'm going to keep you in my head. So bring things from your subconscious to your consciousness. Being mindful is very, very important when you are doing such type of work. So yeah, just take care of yourselves while taking care of the world. I wouldn't have said this 2 years ago because I burnt out several times and I still get triggered very easily these days. When I feel like my work is not moving forward, or it's really hard to be an activist. But at the same time, it's these spaces that give me energy when I'm among other young people and I feel like, oh my God, we still have so much to do and we can do it together. That's when we realize the power of the collective. Yeah, I think I would love to open the floor for you all. I don't want to take all the space. So please hit me up with your questions. So besides being an anti-trafficking activist, I'm going to launch my own private project. It's called the Yalla Girl. because people call me the Yalla girl because I always say Yalla, and Yalla in Arabic means come on, let's go, let's do it. I'm very action oriented. Everything I say, I do. And also Yalla stands for Youth Action Through Love, Leadership for Accountability. So I'm going to be launching my own personal campaign to just be there as a source of support for young people, for young activists, for young founders and entrepreneurs in different capacities, to create mentorships, and also to work with the institutions that are blocking us from getting there, to teach them how to work with us. Because I've sat with so many executive directors and I've sat with so many high-level people. They really want to work with us. They just don't know how. They don't know how. They have inherited so many misconceptions, and they are full of preconceived notions on youth and working with you. So they don't know. So we have to educate them. We have to help them unlearn and relearn new practices of how to actually make this impact work with youth on the table. So yeah, I'm all ears. I'm super excited for you all to start this journey. Congratulations again for all of you. Congratulations for the Anika Initiative. Congratulations for just this sounds very exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Racha, for such a great speech. I don't know if I should say it is speech or something, but I really want to thank you so much for what you have been doing. Racha is one of the people that I sit in the back. I know she doesn't know so much of me, but I always sit in the back and just see whatever she's accomplishing as a young person who is in leadership, and the strides that she's making, specifically working with the people in Africa and how they're trying to work, let's say, leadership in a contemporary society. How it is not only you and in the specific place that you are. You have the administration is in this country, the person who's running programs is in another country, the other person is in different countries, but all of us are coming together in order to accomplish one specific thing. And this is something that we also captured in the fellowship, and we had great discussion among the students. And it was great having you and you coming and letting us and letting them also see it is something that it is not just theory, but it's something that works. And if you put your head into it, then you are going to achieve it. And the fact is, we are young people. It is time for us not to wait things to be given to us, and make sure that we make those simple steps, no matter that the hardship and all these things, we are going to make it. And thank you so much, Racha, for joining us. We are going to have a specific time where we are going to interact. The students are also going to interact. If they have any questions, they're going to ask you. However, thank you so much, and do not go, just sit. Then you're going to join back. Thank you. So I also wanted to introduce also the other speaker. He is one of also a great young leader. He's from Kenya. His name is called Amos. He has been running a very huge and a very big initiative. And he's a young person who also has gone through all odds, built things have tumbled down, but at the end of the day, he has learned on how he can build his program, his programs very well. So specifically looking at how sustainable development has helped him develop. I don't know if Amos has joined us, but however, if he hasn't joined us, we are going to let him come at another time. Then he's going to also to speak to us so that we can also see, apart from just whatever we have learned from class, which was theory, what the students learned in class as theory, we can also see those who are also putting it into practice, and also connect the young people who have programs and who have also, if they can also connect with these young people who are already doing something in the continent or also in the world, so that now they can also build or whatever programs or projects that they're having. So thank you so much, Racha. If Amos joins in, then I'm going to give him a chance. However, as we wait for Amos to join in, I wanted to open up the space because this is it is a graduation for the fellows 2021. I also wanted to open up the floor for the students for whatever they've also put together to share with us what did they learn, what was the experience being part of the fellowship, and how has it helped them. In short, we had different students from the students that we had were from different countries in Africa, most of them coming from East African countries. So before I bring in the first students, I just want to share with you so that you can see the students who are part of us. I really hope that people can see. I want to thank and I also want to congratulate the students who are part of this fellowship. And as you can see, we had different students from different countries who are part of the fellowship 2021. Nkosi Viane, Emmanuel Moshio, Wanjiku Mwangi, Paris Rimas, Jess Mugabi, Jean Mukakalisa, Moses Odiambo, Pascal Mutembutsi. I'm really sorry if maybe I might say your name. I'm from the western part of Kenya. Sometimes some letters always go, so don't worry. We also have Josephine Mwangesho. We also have Iran Dukunda Hururaini. Then we had Hiva Ngoma. We also had Joyce Kimani. Then we had Brian Muganda. Then Hendrik hey, told you guys a little bit difficult, but you also had Hendrik. Then you had Prudentia Mreile. Then you also had Bella Irandukunda. So I want to thank these students for being part of the fellowship and also engaging in the fellowship from the beginning all the way to the end. And I really hope and I wish that the fellowship was quite interesting and captivating to them. And I also hope that they gained the best from, let me say, from the fellowship, and also improved on the different programs or projects that they had. So I want to give the chance to the students. So there's some students who to share with us one or two, what they learned, what was the experience. So I'm opening up the floor for the specific students. So for the first student who is going to share with us, the floor is open. You can now speak and talk to us. Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you? Oh, sorry. Mugambi, thank you. Welcome.
Let me first give in a correction of my name. It's not Mugambi, it's Mugabe, Jesse James.
Thank
I'm
you.
coming from Uganda. Well, I may not be able to put on my screen because the video will be quite disturbing, but I'm ready to at least share a little that I've learned from the fellowship. I must admit that it has been a long journey where I've been off and on, but I've kept on pressing on. I'm so thankful for the facilitators, their patience, their encouragement. I mean, like, if it wasn't so, I wouldn't really have finished up the fellowship. Anyway, in a nutshell, as a person, I've develop self-sustainability. I've been able to develop sustainable ideas. I now have a full understanding of SDGs and the Millennium Development Goals. I've been groomed to be a self-sustainable leader, a social entrepreneur, on top of, continuously enabling my community to grow through the use of my gained skills and knowledge. And right now, I must tell you that I'm a founder of an organization. I'm into its registration. This idea came at the right time when we had just started the fellowship for Africa for Sustainable Development program or fellowship. And it really hit me hard when Mr. Ndat used to talk about how we can be self-sustainable, how we can change the community around us, how we can be so reliable to the people around us. And now I do have JSMAC Health and Safety Center, where we actually offer occupational health and safety related services to most of the workers. It's still under development, but my target is to look at, I was able to incorporate most of the SDGs like good health and well-being. That's number 3, number 8, and number 1, to see that at least these workers have, a good health and safe working environment at all costs. At least they have been equipped with the knowledge, training, and everything else. So my thanks go to the Anika Initiative, the Smart Talk Cafe, the Development Coalition Forum, and now today I've been listening to this young lady, I don't know, Racha, how she's been sharing, how she's been coming up with different movements and everything. So I've been borrowing a leaf, and I'm really intrigued. And once again, thank you very much. I have not much to say, but thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. It hasn't been easy, but yeah, you got me. You've brought me up. I'm a leader. I'm a social entrepreneur on top of what I am as a profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Today I'm going to say the name very well, Mugabi. This guy has been stuck on Mugambi. But thank you so much, Mugabi. I want to, first of all, congratulate you for having your project of your program. I really want to thank you so much for the skills that you have gained from the fellowship. You're able to come up with a project and a program. Please also reach out to us and see how we can also help you in terms of making also the steps that are going to go forward, and also connecting you with the different also young people that are also running the same programs that are also in our network. Thank you so much. So I'm also opening up also the space for the next student who is going to share something with us.
Good evening, everyone. I'm also a fellow in the African for Sustainable Development Fellowship. You shall excuse me with the video because my bandwidth is not so strong. I would not I would not be audible. And I would start by thanking the Ibena Impact and the Smart Talk Cafe Initiative and the Anika Initiative for organizing this fellowship and bring it to life. The fellowship was very educative and very informative, where we basically learned a lot on the SDGs and the Africa 2030 goals, and we were able to learn how to implement them according to our social setting. And I would say that this fellowship for 4 to 5 months was very, very educative, and basically all I would say is thank you for teaching us. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to attend the fellowship. Thank you for organizing it. Thank you for everything that you have educated us with throughout these 4 to 5 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. It was great having you let's say Emmanuel was among the most silent student in our class, but also very sharp. I want to thank you so much for being and also joining and also taking the time to be with us for these 4 months. That's what I'm telling you guys. You guys, it reached a point, you guys were like family. I will give the last opportunity to the last student, maybe a student from Kenya, because now we have had Uganda, we have had Rwanda. If we can have a student from Kenya who joined us, who was with us, you can join, say something, then we can go to the next agenda. Hiva, I can see you've raised your hand. You can just speak, and you can just speak.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. When I received the message to join that meeting, I wasn't available. I apologize for that because I got one activity in school, and I tried to do my best to be there. So I was thinking after that someone from Central Africa will speak. It was Kenya. When I say Uganda, Kenya, the country that speak was in East Africa. Reason why I raised my hand. And I think the group's pregnancy, I say, Winter can talk. I was busy, but I tried to do my best. She's texting me to tell me to be there to say something about our country. So the first things I want to say is to thank you everyone, that organization Webina, thank you Smart Cafe, thank you all trainer for that they give us. It wasn't easy, it was very hard, and we try to do our best. In the beginning we was so many, but to finish every people knows how many we was, but it was wonderful for me to be with you guys. I really thank you, all my colleagues, all trainer on that. You spent so many time with us. It wasn't easy for you to try to deal with us because we are so many people from another country, from different countries, but it was wonderful to be with you. And every lecturer who was with us, it was so nice. Sorry for my English. I'm trying to improve it. I think you understand me. And the achievement for my just one organization from African, even the NGO, that is my, what is the goal for Africa for 2063? I'm young and I need that goal happen in Africa. That is what I like a lot, what it does. And I want to thank you on that and everyone for that. We discuss a lot, we get a lot of assignments. I remember you put us in the groups to discuss about it, but it helped us a lot because like assignments, we learn a lot and we discuss and we know what is the goals. in the past, I was just listen goals from Africa 2063. I was just saying that it's for the people who work in UA or in the NGO, but now I know it's for everyone. And that if I can get one opportunity to work in one ONG, can improve those thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for give us I try to do my best to be better something. So for which I have to say now what we learn today now. So if you have to send your fellow.
Hello, Hiva. Maybe I'm sorry that I will cut you short because there is a little bit of a problem with your network. So I will apologize. I'll apologize for that.
And,
yeah, there is a little bit of a problem with your network. So maybe you can add whatever you wanted to say on the chat, but I really thank you so much for joining and also having something to say. So I'll pick the last one, who is Josephine. I saw your hand was risen. I'll pick you as the last one.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, she said sorry, so maybe she's also in a nosy place. I want to thank every single person. For the students, I want to thank you so much for those who have spoken. I want to thank you, and also for those who have not been able to because of maybe the engagements. I want to thank you so much for showing up and also being part of the fellowship and all those. There's feedback that you also shared with us. We want to thank you, but at last being with you guys was really great. So without maybe wasting a lot of time, I will bring in our last guest, who is Amos, and talk to you. Is a young leader from Kenya, who has also been able to develop his organization, projects and programs, and able to develop himself, especially in terms of being one of very great leaders that I've ever met. So I'll give him a chance to say something. Then we will be able now to finish by giving a little bit of announcements and whatever we're going to do next. Then now we're going to close. Amos, if you are able to join us, it will be really great.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening to you. Thank you. Yes, we can see you.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Sorry, I came late because there was a bit of traffic today in Nairobi. It's getting crazy as Christmas. People heading Christmas, so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
But I want to take this opportunity on behalf of all the organizers and on behalf of Maurice for just organizing this kind of interaction, to just sincerely send my thank you to your team and the entire organization and partners organization that have organized this amazing event. Now, mine goes to students, mostly those who have just graduated, the graduates. And I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for the work you've been doing. It's not easy in Africa to finish a project, a program, or even studies with the type of systems that we have, balancing with the work and trying to ensure that everything goes as planned. It's not an easy thing. So on behalf of the entire youth of Africa, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you, but also I want to take this opportunity to challenge you. And my challenge is that now that you have learned about the Sustainable Development Goals, and now that you have learned how what Africa needs to be to the next level, what is going to be your role? Now that we are having, we don't have peace in most part of Africa. You can see what is happening in Ethiopia now. Is very sad. You can also see what is happening in Libya. You can see what is happening in South Sudan. You can see what is happening in Central African Republic. You can also see what just happened. People just died in Cameroon. The bomb that just bombed children in school is so sad. So mine is to challenge you, because at this crucial time, Africa is passing through a lot of stress, through a lot of violence and poverty and employment. But I believe that you people who have graduated today, who are of my age bracket, majority of you, you are going to find out solutions for Africa, because we can't keep on lamenting, and we have solutions. We have good technology that we can use to come up with ideas that can fight poverty even in desert areas, in semi-arid areas, in marginalized areas. So I believe that the young people still has a role to play. And mine is just to challenge you, because look at Africa now. If you are conversant with the Agenda 2063, and one of the aspiration of the Agenda 2063, which I know majority of you are conversant with, was to silence the guns in the year 2020. But what is happening now? Look, we are in 2021. We get more guns. There is no peace in almost all parts of Africa. How are we going to solve it? And you can see the Western countries are coming in. They want to solve our own problems. It's very sad. For how long will we rely on this Western? And some of them don't mean good for Africa. I'm very sorry to say this, but that is the reality. Some of these Western countries, they don't mean good in Africa. Look at what is happening in countries that are colonized by French people. Tell me which countries still don't rely in their colonies. I mean, if you look at the Western countries, almost all of them, including Burkina Faso, they still depend on the French. So as you're going outside there, don't just hold the certificate that you are a graduate for sustainable development, but go with the mindset that you're going to use your little experience that you have gathered to ensure that you make the small little changes in Africa. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It starts with even your village. It starts from wherever you are. You don't need to play a very big role. You just need to make an impact between 2 or 3 people, and those 3 people will make impact to the rest. That is how we can grow in Africa. But if today you have graduated and say, now that I've gotten the certificate, or now that I've already passed the classes, then I'm going to sit down and relax. Trust me, I'm very sorry, we are going to have a big problem, because we young people are the ones that to change this continent. And once we have gathered such knowledge, we need to share it with others. We need to use our knowledge to see how we can develop a different sector in agriculture, in innovation, in technology, and so many areas. But what happens with us young people? We are full in social media 24 hours. After achieving such kind of knowledge, we don't even share. What we are full of is gossip and hate speech that are putting Africa apart. So we must think, ladies and gentlemen, as we graduate today, what are you going to do with whatever you have gained from this amazing initiative that was started by different organizers? What are you going to take back home to your home country. I know there were different countries that attended this fellowship. Don't just have that laxity saying, you know what, now that I've already succeeded in getting this, I'm just going to sit with this and relax and enjoy the certificate and show it on social media that you have graduated with this. That will not sort out the problem. A problem can be solved when you have learned something and you have gained experience and you share with others and you find solutions for Africa problem. You look at the best technology in Africa, or the best technology that serves people. An example is M-Pesa in Kenya, which was founded by a very young man. So if we can use these skills to just ensure that we come up with something that are solution driven, they can help in terms of solving problems that we have in Africa. I mean, we are going to move a little bit step. We don't have to see that we have achieved it in our lifetime. We can now begin to plant this seed by empowering other 5 people. Those 5 people will empower other, maybe let's say like 100, and 100 can empower other 1,000. So it may not happen during your lifetime period, but plant the seed, wait for the next generation to water it, then wait for the next generation to come and enjoy the fruit. But if we say that, after all, if I fight for Africa, I'm not going to enjoy the fruits, then trust me, you are not going to leave any legacy that will help the next generation. We must come out from this self-centered philosophy and have the philosophy of we. If we believe that we can move together as one, then we are going to make this continent better. But as long as we hate each other, we don't promote what others are doing. I know that majority of you here came from different countries, as said previously. Ensure that you have contact with these people. Ensure that you network. Ensure that you come up with resolutions that are going to help this continent. But provided that you're going to sleep in these resolutions, trust me, even the education that you have gotten is nothing. And I'm sorry to say that is nothing, as if, because you're going to sleep on something that is going to help the next generation. Share your knowledge with others, come up with initiative that can help this continent, come up with initiative that can support your villages, your community, your sisters and brothers, your friends, and trust me, we are going to have a continent that is self-reliant, that will no longer think of poverty, that will no longer think of unemployment, and a continent that has food. So ladies and gentlemen, I can talk and talk, but today was just a day of saying congratulations for the good work you have been doing. And I'm very much happy for the organizers for this amazing initiative. I hope that it will not stop here, but also make efforts to ensure that you make follow-up with the people who have graduated, so that we have a generation that is motivated continuously. The problem we have in Africa is our education system. You graduate, you get a certificate, you go and roast maize by the roadside with your certificate, and we forget to implement what we have learned. I mean, we have engineers who cannot even tarmac their own small roads heading to the village. It's quite sad. So we must begin to implement these things, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I always love Amos so much. When he speaks, he commands, and he commands the best things that we need in Africa in terms of specifically as leadership, and also saying the truth and putting the truth to the table. We need to work on the continent as a people. Let's not just be proud and say, oh, we are the young ones. No. There is always responsibility when it comes for us moving forward, and also the continent moving forward. Thank you so much, Amos. I think Amos will share his contact maybe at the chat, so that when you guys want also to reach out to him, you can reach out to him. He's one of the greatest upcoming young African leaders, and he has been here and he's really making a lot of change in the continent. So he is going to share his contacts and everything, so that now you guys can also reach out to him and also talk to him. Thank you, Amos. It has been great. Thank you for challenging and giving out the challenge. asking people what is the action, what are the action points, not only just having been and saying you've been in for the 4 or the 3 or the 1 year, what are the action points that you're coming up with in order to become better and also develop yourself. So thank you. He has already shared his contact. You guys can reach out to him, talk to him so that you can also see what he's coming up with. For the students who are here and come up with different programs, guys from Rwanda, you had a very good project. I think if you can talk to Amos, he can help you in terms of developing it and becoming better, because I know he's someone who is also good in terms of communities and also building communities. You can talk to him so that we can also see how we work together to develop one another. So maybe I will now go to the last part of this and maybe do the closure. And I want to thank every single person who has taken their time to be here and be part of this. I want to thank every single student for beginning the fellowship until today, and being part of this every single time, and also learning and also being open to equip themselves and also develop themselves. I want to thank you so much. For the guests who joined us, Amos Onynago, I want to thank you so much for putting aside time to be able to talk to the different young people. And also for Racha, who she had to leave because, you know, they're doing Thanksgiving, so she's with family. So she has to go to the family. I want to thank you so much for that time, and also making sure that you can work with us. So for the organizations that were part of this, Smart Talk Cafe, Anika Initiative, Development Coalition of Africa, I want to thank you so much for giving out all the experts who could come, giving out the tools that we could be able to make sure that every single student was able to get and also gain the relevant information so that it can help us help them develop themselves. So I want to say for the certificates that are for the students, the certificates are going to be shared to the students via email, electronic, because of the proximity of the different students, because we have different students from different countries. So we are going to share it officially via the emails where now you're going to use, which are going to be signed. We are going to share them next week to every single student, because now we have to get signatures from all these leaders, and all these leaders and all, they're also in different countries. So for the students, next week you are going to get your certificates. The next thing that I also wanted to say is, as I'd said earlier, the platform that we have, the Zoom, the pages that we have under the fellowship, because we are going to create pages for the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship. Then we are going to add all of you. We are going to have a page on Facebook. We are going to have the platform on Zoom. These platforms are open for all the fellows and the students who have gone through the fellowship, so that now we can support whatever programs or whatever engagement that you have, especially if you want to have conversations that are online, and also a whole event that are online, aligned towards whatever you have been taught. The platforms are open for you, so that now you can use, because you are our fellows, and you are going, it is good for us to also engage and also look at how we can improve, and also bring in other young people, so that they can also gain from the skills that we have. Number 3, also for the students, if you want to hold maybe events that are aligned to whatever topics that you have done under this sustainable development, I hope we are open, especially for Smart Talk Cafe. For other organizations, maybe they will share via email, but for us as Smart Talk Cafe, and we are open to also grace and also be part of those programs or projects that you have, or events, so that we can support you and also look at how we can also help you in terms of maybe getting other people coming in, other to help you, or also gracing and also being part of the speakers on those specific programs. Fourth, I will wish that via the WhatsApp group and also through email, please share with us your full names so that it is easier for us to capture your official names, maybe that are on your ID or birth certificate, on the certificate, so that now when we share with you that officially you are, so that I do not do the OLSB Mugambi. Instead of writing Mugabe, I write Mugambi. So we can have that, so that now it is easier for us to disseminate and also you guys to get your certificates. For the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship, it is a fellowship that is going to be running once a year. So we are going to open, for, the applications are going to be open in January, January next year. So we are going to share the links, and also if you have anyone who really wants to be part of the fellowship, because this is something that also we have I've seen people requesting, you can share. So the fellowship is going to be open in January, where applications are going to be received from January to March. Then from April, we are going to kickstart from not April. From May, we are also going to kickstart now the fellowship for 2022. So the links are going to be gotten on the websites for Smart Talk Cafe, Anika Initiative, and also Development Coalition of Africa, and also through the social media pages, and also through the different pages for the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellowship. So with that, I hope, and I really hope, that every single person got and improved themselves, especially for the students, and made themselves better through the fellowship. And I want to thank you. And as of now, you guys are the Africa for Sustainable Development Fellows 2021. Congratulations. And it was great having you. So whatever I'm going just to request is, if you guys can put up your cameras so that we can see you, so that now we can take a group photo for every single person who was here and who was part of this. And please smile, and we'll really appreciate this. So thank you. If there is anything that maybe I haven't covered that you really wanted to cover, you can reach out to me I will share also my contact, but for the students, you reach out to me via the WhatsApp group, and also you reach out to us via email, through official email, so that now we can cover whatever maybe I have not captured through our engagement today. Thank you, and have an awesome evening. Before I forget, I want to see, let's take a picture. Kororaini, thank you for coming. Pascal, thank you. Please put on your camera so that we can take this last photo with these smiles and these great people. So that now we can have, as I always say. So for the others who haven't opened the camera, it's okay. We're going just to take this. So, now I can see. Someone was not wearing spectacles when you were doing the fellowship. Now they're wearing spectacles. I can see them. They know themselves. So smile. You need to take a book from Amos. You see the Amos is smiling. Yes. You can yeah. Thank you guys, and thank you for being part of this, and I really appreciate you, and have an awesome time. Reach out, and thank you. Have a great day.